Hello, in this video I wanted to take a quick look at this door guard chain lock I got from an antique shop for $3. And so this doesn't have any lock to pick, so some of y'all may be wondering, why did I give them $3 for this block of metal? It doesn't even have the matching bar to actually use this on a house or a door. It has some features in it that caught my eye, and I'll go over them. But for those of you that aren't familiar, this is a door guard chain lock. You've probably most likely seen this on a hotel, or not this specific lock, but this a door guard lock on a hotel where you'll have it's a lock that lets you open the door cracked but still somewhat locked so that you can see who's there. I think nowadays with peepholes, I don't know how much value that gives you. There may be other reasons you may want one, but it lets you crack that door open a little bit with one piece mounted to the door and one piece mounted to the frame, and you can see who's there, or maybe you can exchange some takeout food, but you don't have to fully open your door. That's the idea with them. This particular one was made by SB Manufacturing Company in Milwaukee. I'm not sure when. It looks like 1900s, but I don't know how old. And I looked up the company, and it looks like they made other things other than locks. I don't think they're strictly a lock company. What really caught my eye about this particular one is this retraction right here, and this little latch that lets you lock the chain once you've got it in a position that you like. So I'm going to ask y'all can pause the video right here and think about what are the two advantages of what's the advantage of the retraction, and what's the advantage of this little latch right here for security. So take a second, pause, make your guesses, ... Okay, we come back. So the reason I like these features here, and this is kind of old, this gets stuck a little bit, so it's probably not the best example, but the retraction here. So actually, first let me explain how people normally bypass these. So normally you just have a loose chain like this, and this will slide on the bar, and when it opens like this, there's not enough slack in the chain for somebody to push this off. They have to shut the door to pull it off the chain, off of its little mounting bar. So the idea is that, well, because you have to shut the door to actually take it off, that's the security there. In reality, a lot of times the door can stay cracked, and you may be able to use like a coat hanger or something like that and get this to fall off. If it is actually so tight that, or taut, or that you can't, that you have to fully shut the door, the other trick that people will do is you can stick like a thumbtack or a nail or something into the wall, or even use like duct tape for to hold something to the wall, and then you take a rubber band and you hook it to your tape or your thumbtack or your nail, and then you hook the rubber band to this, and when you fully shut the door, it pulls the chain and this can pop off. So that's how people tend to like bypass these or get around them. And you can also do that with the metal bars. It doesn't have to be the chain ones. If you've seen like the metal bars that are common at hotels, that rubber band trick also works there. So with that, there's two advantages of this retraction and this latch here. The fact that you've got this sort of springy retraction means that whatever somebody uses to try and pull this off is going to also have to fight that retraction. So instead of it just fighting a little bit of gravity and friction, it's also fighting this spring here. So it's going to have to be a lot stronger. It's going to have to be a stronger rubber band, which means they need a better way of attaching it to the wall. It's just going to make things a little more difficult. But even better than that is this little latch right here. Because what this lets you do, or it lets the homeowner, whoever's at the, I don't know, the hotel room user do, is they can fully shut the door. So let's say they've got the door fully closed and they're not expecting anybody to come in. They can just pull that latch right there. Now this chain won't move at all, and that door is not going to open, period. So nobody's going to get the door partially open and insert these rubber bands or tools or coat hangers. They're not going to be able to open the door at all to get those things in there. And even if they do get it in there, they still need to push this latch in. So they might need to have some very strong under the door tool to somehow push that latch in, and then they can start dealing with getting the chain off the frame. So it makes it a lot harder for an attacker to get in. I took a quick look on Amazon and Lowe's and Home Depot, and I didn't see anything with these features anymore. So it seems like the advantages of this were lost a little bit at some point. There are other styles of this that use keys. You may notice some that use keys on Amazon and Lowe's. The issue with those is though that is you still have this long chain. And I can just, I mean, I might be wrong here, but looking at the keys in the photos, they look very cheap. They look like something you could open with a jiggler pick or something, a jiggler key or something like that. Rake open really quick. So I certainly think it's the kind of thing you could do through a gap in a door. So anyways, I thought it was really neat. And for $3, I thought it would be a cool little thing to discuss and talk about and just sort of show, I don't know, what I think was a good design for this sort of door guard chain lock, and something I hadn't seen before. Thank you all for watching.